It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show and action aplenty to talk about in Mallee Netball. A couple of games played over last weekend and everyone's back this weekend, I believe. Nicole McMahon might be able to fill us in on a bit more detail there. Nicole, how are you?
Good, thanks, Jason. How are you?
Well, thank you. Murrayville back in action this weekend?
Yes, they sure are. I think they're very excited, as is the whole border community, to be able to move freely and, come over and play some sport on Saturday.
Excellent. Well, in fact, go back to last week's results. That's where we might start. Murrayville took on Peak and, they, of course, enjoyed each other's company from the Zoom, I'd imagine, which is where this game would have been played. Maybe a couple of front bars of the odd pub there at Peak, but at Murrayville they would have been zooming in from the lounge room, playing maybe some drinking games or something like that. 30 all, I think, is what they decided to do, wasn't it?
30 all, yeah. And do you know what? I said it last week, but it's probably, I don't think, a very unrealistic score on what may have happened on Saturday.
You're right.
Yeah. But Murrayville, getting their first point on the board for the year, and Peak's third point. So the bottom two sides at the moment, but I think it would have actually been a really good game. So disappointing they didn't get to match up. But no best players there, of course. Both is back in action this weekend. I'm
sure there was plenty that were pretty good off ground, but we won't talk about that. We'll move on and talk about BDT and Pinaroo. What about this for a clash? Match of the round, cracking game. Did it go the way you wanted it to?
Oh, I think for our ladder, my preference might have been Pinaroo, so we had a bit more of a chance of edging in there. But great game. That's what we wanted to see. It is always nice to see the top side being beaten. Goal, so not by much. So really good match there. I believe BDT kind of did have the lead all day, but it was even at three-quarter time, and BDT just finished it really strongly. Pinaroo just not quite able to finish it off, unfortunately. Best for BDT was Cassidy Colthard in at goal defence and Jess Richardson in centre, both running a solid 4 quarters. For Pinaroo, Chanel Maynard played goal shooter. She come up for the week and did really well while Beck Najolki was away. So well done to Chanel, having a great game up at A grade. Erin Tonkin, it was great to see her back from Borders. She had been sidelined with an injury and had a good 2 or 3 quarters. So well done to her. Hopefully she can keep back at it. So, good work for BDT and bad luck for Pinaroo for their first loss for the year.
Yes, indeed. Probably better now, they're thinking, than in September. But nobody likes losing at any time, let's be honest.
No, that's right. And Pinaroo, traditionally, and they have won the last 2 premierships, they do have a bit of a second round lull and then come back strong in the third round and final. So hopefully history is not repeating itself.
Well, no lull for your girls against Karuna Districts. A solid 11-goal win in a very low-scoring game, 36-25. How did it play out?
It was very low scoring, very defensively strong as the low scoring depicts. So it come back and forth a lot, both teams struggling to capitalise on the turnovers. Lamoureux, though, had a really strong start. They're up 10 goals to 1 in that first quarter and still led at 17 goals at third time. But the wheel fell off in the fourth quarter and ended off that fourth quarter by 7 goals. So well done to Karuna having a ripper end to the game, but just not quite strong enough with Lamoureux, still taking that win by 11 goals. Lamoureux's defence line really strong. Cassie Walter and Amy Dyer just having sticky hands and getting their hands to lots of balls. And Karuna's defence work in the goal ring, really strong. Frances Buchanan and Shaylin Paik being really difficult to feed against. I'm speaking from my own experience. So well done to those girls. And young Jessica Kerr, I thought, gave it a really good crack. A young junior playing A grade for the first time this year. So well done to her too.
Fantastic. All right, so that's a wrap-up of what went on last weekend. Now, this weekend, what is happening? Because by my understanding, no club matches, or have I got that wrong?
No, we're all good. We're all on.
You're away. So I'm looking at the program, and it's obviously got the dates wrong because it says the next match is June the 12th. So you are actually playing this weekend. I wanted to clarify that.
Yes. No, I'm pretty sure we're playing this. Do you know what? That makes sense because I've organised the DJ for Lamoureux and I told him the wrong date, so it wasn't my fault. It was the draft program.
That's it. We're going to blame the program.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're definitely playing this weekend.
Okay, so let's start with your crew. You at home, and who are you playing?
We are up against Borders. It was a very close game in round one. Borders won by 3 goals. Lamoureux definitely, we had our opportunities and we were a bit sore about that loss, so we're going to come out firing tomorrow. And hoping, as always, I'll pick Lamoureux to get the 2 points. It will be a close game, there's no doubt about that, but I'm feeling a little bit confident.
Well, traditionally there hasn't been much between the top 3. You guys, Lamoureux, of course, BDT and Pinaroo. And, well, they knocked off Pinaroo, the top side, last week. If you knocked them off, then, I guess we'll wait and see what happens when you play Pinaroo next.
Yeah, we'll keep things interesting, that's for sure.
Definitely. All right, so we've got that one going on this week. We should talk about Murrayville, though, who had to wait an extra week for a game. They will be travelling across the border to Karoonda, I believe. A long road trip for them, but I'm sure they'll be happy to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it will be worthwhile, their drive. It's guaranteed to be a great game between these two teams. Karoonda are currently sitting 4th on 4 points and Murrayville in 6th position with 1 point. So it's still very doable for Murrayville to get into that top 4, but they will need to win this game on Saturday. Last time these two teams met, it was 7-goal victory to Karoonda, but that was only in the last quarter. I believe Murrayville were actually leading at 3-quarter time. Murrayville are back to full strength on Saturday. They've got Stacey Mercer-Bruns who plays really well with Brooke Durden, who's a new player for Murrayville this year. So that could make it really tricky for Karoonda. I'm going to pick an upset and pick Murrayville to have technically their second win.
Oh, okay, I like it.
1 point, so I'll tip Murrayville.
Okay. The last match of the round is my Pekin District girls who'll be up against it. Never a good sign to be playing the top side, but when they come off a loss, they tend to be a bit grumpy. And Pinaroo will be grumpy, and they'll come up the highway.
Yeah, they will be. Well, I think Coach Tash Venning was actually quite pleased with their girls' efforts. It was a hard-fought game. So they are still playing good netball. Peak, I believe they still might have a few injuries, so not back to full strength. Pinaroo last time didn't have any problems against Peak, winning by 24 goals. So I do think Pinaroo will get up playing at the Lions Den on Saturday.
All right. And that's where we'll leave it. Good to have netball back in the Mallee once more. Nicole, all the best to you and the Lamoureux crew and everyone having a crack on the court this weekend. And we'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.